Greg LeBlanc, and I farm 6 miles east of Crookston, Minnesota. I started farming in 1975. I'm on the Research Promotion Council. I'm also on the Research Tech Committee.
Mal Levine, I'm Dean of the College of Food, Agricultural and Natural Resource Sciences. We have a very wide array of research that we do at this college and at the university in general in the agricultural sciences.
I'm Seth Nave, and I'm soybean agronomist here at the University of Minnesota. I have a wide range of field-level projects that we work on, and so they're focused primarily on increasing yield in the field as well as quality of the soybeans.
I look at research as a puzzle. We provided money for 30 different research projects last year. Well, those 30 projects, let's say they're that puzzle. Each one's a piece of that puzzle. So the research goes in those pieces. Then I, as a producer, look at those pieces, try and put them together and see what's best for me up here in northwest Minnesota so I can try and get that 55 bushel soybean yield.
Soybean yields have improved over time, and we have been gaining about 1/3 of 1 bushel per year annually, so we have increased yields. Unfortunately, it isn't enough to meet the worldwide demand, so we need to find out a way to step that up and increase that rate of yield increase.
People say by 2050 there's going to be 9 billion people. Well, there's 7 billion today. There's already 1 billion people, they say, that go to bed hungry. And that's why I believe research is just as important, if not more important, than it was in past years. Because there's just more people to feed.
In Minnesota, we have a very unique growing environment. Soil conditions and the length of our season are vastly different than what farmers face in Iowa and Illinois and other states. And so it's really critically important that we do the work here on farms in collaboration with farmers so that we can get the right kind of production information back to the farmers that are helpful to them as individuals. A high yield, high quality crop really first requires a perfect environment. But then after that, the farmer really has to do everything right all the way from the beginning to the end. So it starts with how they've managed their fields historically, their fertility levels, but then adding the right kinds of fertilizers, choosing the right variety of seed, row spacings and populations, and then managing pests through the season, and a timely harvest.
The researcher is kind of the educator and the farmer is the student. Sure, a farmer could go do what the researcher is doing on his farm, but do you really want to go do that? And do you have the time to do that?
Our researchers and the farm community really depend upon one another. They each interact along the way in many ways. And so what happens is the farmers discover problems, diseases, other kinds of things that might be around production, bring it back to our university professors who then do research and then return it back through the extension group that goes out and educates the public.
The partnership between university and farmers is critically important. It's a two-way street. We have to be able to provide a valuable product to them so that they feel that we are a valuable resource back. That communication, and so that we can really do a good job and provide the right information and learn about what challenges they face.
I've only grown soybeans here since 1998. So we didn't have soybean aphid, let's say, 8 years ago. So that we didn't even have that pest. And all of a sudden we got that pest. So what do? You know, you're blindsided virtually because you don't know when to spray, what to spray it with. So that's where research comes in.
At the universities and the public sector, we take a fairly conservative view in managing pests. And it's really helped long term because we've reduced not only resistance buildup within these pests, but we've reduced the amount of pesticides being applied.
The land is the lifeblood to this business, and we definitely take care of the soil. I mean, we're not going to put stuff on the soil that's going to harm it. I think the most exciting part of American agriculture is how the genetics has changed the yields of soybeans, or how they can adapt to different races of diseases, how there just seem to be a healthier plant than they were. And that means less use of chemicals to produce that healthier plant.
The research efforts are really important to continue and maintain the productivity of the cropping systems that we have. We want to produce more food on less land with less nutrient use, with less water use. And there's data that has come out of the literature by Phil Pardee, who's a professor in the Department of Applied Economics here at in our college in CFANS. And Phil has shown, along with his colleagues, that The investments in agriculture have been going down, and along with that lack of investment in agriculture, the rate of productivity of cropping systems has also decreased.
We need to increase the profitability of soybeans so that soybeans can stay competitive, so that we continue to have buyers and continue to have production available for those buyers. It's more important than ever to help and feed the world.
If we want to keep the edge, somebody has to make a decision that we need to put more money into research. If we don't, we're going to lose our edge.